Who you got? Does it make your list? Which one of these is your favorite? Dead or alive? Take your pick. It's your choice, just don't bootlick. Tell us what you want in your top 5, and we gotta know the reason. Let's take a deep dive. If you the same as mine, I'll be your #1 supporter. Now relax and enjoy the podcast. It's No Order. Yo, 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 yo. How's it going, people? Welcome to the No Order Podcast with Bear and Do. We are bringing you the top 5 dead or alive in no order with special guests here today. But I want to bring in Bear. What up, Bear? How you feeling today?
And Do was good. Just here at work, enjoying this sunny day.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to get on with the podcast here because you know how we got to tag team this one and figure out what these top 5s are like. Definitely enjoying that sunny weather as well. Feel free to let me know if everything's good on the levels out there on the 1s and 2s.
Everything sounds perfect on my side.
Right on, right on. Well, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the No Order Podcast. You can find us at KnowOrderPodcast@gmail.com. And you can also now find us on Patreon. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/NoOrder, No Order Podcast. And feel free to become a supporter of the No Order Podcast. We'll definitely appreciate it out there. We got some great merch and great gifts out there for those supporters. So find us on Spotify and also Amazon Music and Audible, as well as on our YouTube channel. Try to run up those YouTube followers and subscribers for us. I definitely want to thank all of our previous guests on here. I know we had some highly heated debates. Bear, we got some really good ones coming up here. I know that everyone's been hitting you up for a lot of these new lists here that they're trying to come up with on the No Order Podcast. What you think about those?
Definitely. I'm getting a lot of different aspects and people's top 5s of certain things that I didn't even think about on a couple of them. So hopefully we can get them on and definitely hear a couple crazy top 5s coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm for sure juiced to hear those as well. All right, Barrett, I'm super excited to bring in our next guest on the No Order Podcast. He's going to run down a pretty awesome topic here that I think that I'm pretty juiced to hear. You excited for this one, Bear?
Oh, definitely. At first, when I heard the top 5, I was like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. But once you hear these, you're going to understand that, man, a lot of people get their nicknames from different stuff. And, everybody, got a nickname.
For sure, for sure. Hey, right off the bat, I want to bring in the homie Mos to the podcast. How you feeling today, Mos? We got Mos on the line.
I'm feeling great. How are you fellas doing?
We're doing real well. Well. Appreciate you.
I'm doing good, Mos, man. How you been?
I've been doing good. I've been doing real good. Enjoying every day of life, man. Thankful to be here. Thankful to be on the show.
That's what I like to hear. Oh, yeah. Mos, today we wanted to have you on the No Order Podcast, and we thank you for coming on the No Order Podcast. We wanted to hear your top 5 dead or alive mixed martial artists fighter nicknames, 5 through 1 on the list. So we're super juiced to hear this one. You want to kick it off right away with us, or what you thinking? How you feel?
Yeah. Before we hop into the list, I got some opinions on some previous lists that have been on the show. If we could start there, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, fire them off. Let's hear
your opinion.
All right. So one of my favorite shows so far was the cereal one, right? I mean, we're all fans of cereal. We've all sat in front of the TV and had a few bowls of cereal at a time or two. Cinnamon Toast Crunch would have been my top, by the way. But there was a mention of the churro Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's okay, but it definitely does not top the original, in my opinion.
It's just a different flavor, right?
It's a bit of a different flavor. It's more of a different texture. It's a little bit. It's kind of more crunchy. Hard to describe. Flavor's not much different, but it doesn't top the original, in my opinion. The original still king of the cereal world for me.
Hey, how do you feel about Do's weak ass peanut butter crunch?
That was the second thing I had as a bullet point. I'm a huge peanut butter fan. I am.
Okay.
Sourdough's corner here. Number 2 on my cereal list would be Captain Crunch peanut butter. Right? That's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know where that was going.
I'm so glad we can do a top 5 cereal with you. That already killed it right there.
I've been licking too many buttholes, so he doesn't have very many taste buds left, so it's really just hurting his flavor palette there, because that peanut butter crunch is one of the top ones out there. Thank you you so much. I really was wondering where you were going with that one. See, Bear?
You already know. You already had a couple other people hit you up talking about, yeah, bro, what's up with that peanut butter pick? That's not even an honorable mention.
See, Bear, your taste buds just aren't there, bro. Your taste buds just aren't there. All right.
The last topic from the cereal episode that I had to mention is anyone who puts milk before cereal is most likely a serial killer. So stay away from people like that. You don't put milk before cereal.
Sad trombone. Yeah, those definitely someone a little bit of a weirdo, as Bear said. Well, he said they're not weirdos, but I think that they're definitely weirdos.
They're definitely on the other side. You know, their elevator definitely doesn't go all the way to the top if they're pouring the milk first.
A few crayons short of a 64 pack with a sharpener for sure.
Couldn't agree more. All right, I'm ready to get into the list when y'all are ready.
Right on. So we got you here on the No Order Podcast. We're looking for the top 5 mixed martial artists, fighter nicknames with Most. Give us your number 5 here on the No Order Podcast, Most.
Number 5 for me, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Quentin Rampage Jackson.
That's a solid fighter. Definitely a good nickname. The guy had a lot of fucking rage. I don't know if you remember watching the UFC fight coach
when he broke down that door. Yeah.
So definitely that Rampage definitely kicked in for him, for sure.
Most definitely, and that's a great description. One reason why I love that nickname. When you think of the word Rampage, you think of someone who could destroy a door with their bare hands, who will power bomb someone middle of a fight. His fighting style, him as a fighter, he's just the definition of rampage, and he just lives and embodies that word. So that had to make my top 5. But
absolutely,
Jackson, number 5.
Absolutely, and that's one of the first things I think of when I hear the word rampage. Other than the video game used to play at the when I used to go get some pizza, but Rampage, they were climbing all up on the buildings and everything, and he just fits that exactly to that game, just causing havoc. Definitely a really solid number 5 with Quentin Rampage Jackson as the top 5 nicknames for MMA fighters on the No Order Podcast. All right, Most, that's a good solid number 5. What do you got for us at number 4?
So at number 4, this fighter most likely puts his milk before his cereal. Wanderlei, the axe murderer Silva. He embodies an axe murderer.
I definitely seen this guy fight a lot. If you ever see his stare down, I believe I only seen him lose one stare down, and that was the Pro Cop. The Pro Cop is actually a killer because he's part of a SWAT team.
Solid nickname as well. I don't know if that's on Moses' list, Bear, but that's definitely a solid nickname as well. But the axe murderer is for sure one. He's got a few screws loose. You've got to with a nickname like that.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely only has a face of mother love, so he for sure is an axe murderer.
Oh, without a doubt.
If you only heard this guy talk in his press conferences, he would still be known as the axe murderer. His voice, his mannerisms definitely connote axe murderer. So it's a great nickname for him.
For sure. He's a few eggs short of an omelet, most definitely. So that's number 4, Wanderlei Silva, the axe murderer. What do you got here coming up for us for number 3?
For number 3, he may not be the most talented fighter, but he's got one of the best nicknames that I've ever seen in MMA, and that's Clay the Carpenter Guida.
Wow. He's one of the littler guys as well. He got the hair. He was bouncing all over the place. He was always packed full of energy in his fights. Clay the Carpenter Guida.
Oh yeah, he put in work and definitely in the ring.
And probably in the shop, man. This guy lifts more like a carpenter than an MMA fighter. Granted, he would destroy me. He would mess a shit ton of people up. But he looks more like a carpenter than a fighter. And it is the hair that puts him over the top, and it really matches the nickname with the fight style. And I wouldn't be surprised
definitely the wild signature.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not missing a few digits with still having those heavy hands, because it looks like, maybe he was planing some wood or getting the chop saw going or something like that.
He looks like the type of guy who shows up to the weigh-in with a bag of tools, a hammer, and once he's off that scale, he's looking for some work to get done before the fight starts.
Ready to put in that work.
Put up the podium and take it down after every weigh-in.
Right. Bro, that's for sure. He probably is running the whole thing, and then might even be putting on that Reverend's little neck thing that they got. I forget what it's called, but probably giving out some eulogies as well. All right, Most, you're here on the No Order Podcast. We really appreciate you coming on again. We're really down to the final 2 in your list for top MMA fighters. We got you here at number 2. Who you got for us?
So for number 2, I'm just going to say the nickname because I don't know the regular name anyway. It's the Korean Zombie. One hell of a fighter and even better nickname.
Yeah, I don't think they even say his regular name here in the States. I think it's Chan Jung Sung.
Yeah, I definitely would stick with the nickname on that one. Don't even want to butcher his name, but yeah, he's a talented fighter. He definitely deserves that nickname. He's been a lot through the ring, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure, made a big name for himself. I definitely, with a name like Zombie, you for sure are gonna turn some heads and perk up some ears in the fight game. What you got for us here on that one, Most?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first fights I saw this guy in, he finished the fight with a submission I'd never seen before and have never seen since. It was some crazy submission. He just twisted the shit out of the dude. But before he got to that submission, he was just taking blow after blow after blow, and he was not slowing down, not stopping, not backing up at all. He was the embodiment of a zombie. And yeah, I mean, every fight I've seen since, this guy just gets better and better. He's a great fighter, but the nickname just can't be surpassed. It's like I said, it's an even better nickname than his fight style.
Yeah, it sounds like zombies are just coming after your brain, and they're not stopping until they pummel you. So that's definitely a top name. All right, Most, we're here on the No Order Podcast, and we've got down to the number 1.
So this one might be a surprise. I think some of the guys I listed may end up at the top of some other people, but this is just one of my personal favorites, Carlos Condit, the natural born killer. The nickname is original. I like the nickname itself, but the cool thing about it is this guy, if you just seen him walk in, in the grocery store, at a gas station, you wouldn't think twice. He looks like just your average everyday guy, but once that bell rings, this guy is just aggressive. He'll attack, and he'll bring it to you for 3 or 5 rounds, however long the fight may be. He's got a pretty vicious fighting style, but it's really just a nickname. I love how original it is, and I think it fits him very, very well. He's kind of past his prime now, but in his prime, he was definitely one of the top guys in the UFC and the WEC at one point, I believe.
Yeah, I know it's definitely one of my favorites as well. Just fighters overall. Dropped that Hall of Famer. Shameless plug. Y'all can check it out if you want to check out the song on YouTube or one of the streaming platforms. But definitely had to drop that name. Natural Born Killer is definitely an awesome movie as well, if y'all haven't seen that. But the Natural Born Killer, Carlos Condit, coming in at number 1. I'm definitely surprised with some of the names here on the list here, Most. I am wondering if Bear thinks the same. What do you think about some of the names on the list there, Bear?
I do like the list. I was a little shocked I didn't hear one name, just because we're talking about MMA. I definitely thought the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko, would have been on here.
Fedor.
Because, yeah, Fedor, if anybody knows anything about MMA, that guy is MMA. I've never seen him lose. This guy has been slammed, punched, everything, and still comes out with the W every single time. So for having a nickname like the Last Emperor, definitely fits in. But yeah, no, I definitely like the top 5. Your number 1 was pretty solid. The Natural Born Killer, especially in the sport, he definitely did a lot of damage. So I can't even spit it out right now. Hopefully he doesn't kill me.
Yeah, you don't want to talk too bad about any of the fighters here on the list.
No, definitely not talking bad.
But yeah, you definitely don't want to butcher their nicknames either. So I for sure know that all these names fit them, and I think Fedor is a huge one in the sport in general. So yeah, you can't go wrong with any of those. And I think their nicknames fit how they are as fighters. And I was thinking that even some of the fighters, maybe their nicknames are a little bit of an understatement to how they're fighting. Maybe that might get into the minds of their opponents. Something like, say, maybe on the women's side, Thug Rose. I think Thug Rose definitely doesn't fit exactly how she looks or how you would think that she would be. But once you get her in that octagon or in the ring, she's just a beast and definitely thugs it out there.
definitely.
Another one that might have been on my list for nicknames, I would say possibly Butterbean. Everyone knows him as Butterbean. They don't really know him as Eric Esch as his name. So I thought that maybe that could be a top nickname as far as an MMA style. I know a lot of people know him from boxing as well, but I know he's done some MMA in the past, maybe with the older fighters. But I thought that was a big one.
Oh, yeah. Or you can even bring up El Guapo, Bats Rutin. He's definitely a classic.
Classic, and has definitely made a name for himself outside of the octagon and just maybe his YouTube videos, if you haven't gone down the rabbit hole for how to get in a bar fight.
El Guapo, that's a good one. I didn't even know that was his nickname. I only knew him as Boss Rudy.
Nickname was El Guapo.
El Guapo can't really top that as one of the nicknames. I know my favorite fighter may not have the greatest nickname for everyone, but definitely going to be Jerome Max Blessed Holloway. Blessed as a nickname can definitely be something that is pretty smooth in my book, but maybe not as scary in the octagon. But definitely one of my favorite fighters from Hawaii.
Yeah, what's dope about that is I think he even got it tatted across his chest or his sternum or something. So he's definitely living that nickname out, for the rest of his life, which he's rightfully should, man. He is definitely a blessed fighter.
Definitely taking ownership of that with the tattoo. Really appreciate having you on the podcast here, Most. Did you have any honorable mentions that you might maybe wanted to list here for us?
Yeah, I got a couple. It's top 5, so I wanted to keep it to a top 5 list. But, we already came up with 3 or 4 additional because there's just so many out there. But a couple that didn't quite make the cut, but I've always thought were pretty cool. They just matched the fighter perfectly was Uriah Faber, the California kid. When you think of California, like just a stereotypical
surfer
Californian, that's what he looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Uriah Faber definitely fits his nickname.
And, while the men have been kind of the stars of MMA for a long time, the women have been gaining popularity. The sport's still kind of growing on that side. So there's not quite as many nicknames, but one that has been around for a while that I always thought was funny was Misha Cupcake Tate. Cupcake as a badass MMA fighter, like she would whip the shit out of most of the people I know. Like she
definitely ain't no cupcake when you step in the ring.
Yeah, definitely not. So I always got a kick out of that one. Those are my 2 honorable mentions. But I'd love to hear some other people's top 5. So maybe this will be revisited episode later down the line by someone else.
Oh, absolutely. We really thank you for coming on the podcast here, Mos.
Yeah, appreciate you spending your time with us and giving us your top 5. Definitely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Definitely a good time. And keep doing your thing, man. I'm enjoying the podcast. I'm going to be tuning in for the next one and making sure my alerts are turned on and everything. So
you already know. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Sure. All right, everybody. We are the No Order Podcast. Once again, you can find us on No Order Podcast at Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. Also, we are now on Patreon, so follow us on Patreon. Become a supporter today. We definitely appreciate it. Definitely looking to grow and build the community with the top 5 on No Order Podcast, streaming everywhere. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much, Bear.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.